national licensure examination in 1986. He is also a practicing lawyer with a Bachelor of Laws from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, Manila. He ranked number 6 in the Philippine Bar examination in 1993 and proceeded to specialize in intellectual property law and alternative dispute resolution. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Attorney Andrew Michael Ong.
Thank you so much. Maayong sa Tuntalan. Glad to be home. Honorable Secretary Boy de la Peña and His Excellency Garcia, and my colleague and partner, Dr. Shasha, Undersecretaries, Assistant Secretaries, Directors, and fellow civil servants, including myself as one. I thank you so much for this opportunity to be here and to be back home in Manila. It is exciting times for us, and you can see from Dr. Shasha's passion this morning that this is really great time for the Philippines. Just to give you a bit of context also, I'm supposed to speak before Dr. Shasha to give you a background, but I thought we can't wait to hear from Dr. Shasha, so I let him do his spiel first. So from here, I hope just to give you the bigger background, and then we proceed into the moderation by Evan Garcia on what we can do for the future. So I have some slides that I've prepared and a couple of videos to show. As Dr. Hesse said, my perspective will be intellectual property, because that's my practice, and I'm not an economist. But you can see that IP and economics are good partners, and Shasha and I are also good partners. We've been to many countries talking about the Global Inflation Index, and I've been waiting and waiting to come here to Manila, and I'm finally here. Okay, so it's about the role of IP and the role of WIPO in innovation support initiatives, especially in the Philippines. Do I put my slide here? Okay, let me start with a big picture. Why are we doing what we're doing? I think Dr. Shasha has explained that. It is really a realization and a recognition that intellectual property is merely a tool. So it's a policy that is a means towards an end, and that end is to stimulate investment on innovation. Which is why our current Dr. General Francis Gurry created the IP economics section where Dr. Shasha is. So we're looking at how IP as a component for economics policy and how the IP system in the countries can be shaped towards that purpose of contributing to development. So with that, we have our publications. Of course, we have several publications on economics and IP, and the flagship of which is the Global Inflation Index. We also have one, and I should mention, on World IP Report, where I think last year we had a theme of the hotspots on innovation. Hopefully we'll be able to invite as well the speakers and the writers of this publication to the Philippines sometime in April. Now, what we do is every year we have special themes. So next year, as Shasha mentioned, will be on financing innovation. Last year was on energy. The year before that was on food systems and agriculture. So we select themes that we can emphasize and talk about. Now, from publication, it has transformed into high-level forum. So it stimulated a national conversation in countries, a private-public dialogue as well on how IP can work towards development. And so that's why we're here today, because the Philippines are 90 months. So we normally go to countries because they have good news and good news to talk about. And as Sasha said, the challenge is now how to move forward, what's going to be the next step. So I think there are three things that I'd like you to leave this room with. Is the three things that I think we can emphasize is how we can leverage the country's strength moving forward, how we can really remove constraints, or what Shasha calls the red tape. And third is how we can capacitate all actors of innovation. I think these three ingredients are extremely important among many. So as Sasha and most of our colleagues belong to the sector of WIPO, where we call it the business sectors, I belong to the development sector. And our task is to help countries through technical assistance and provide special help, expertise in their journey towards a more developed economy. In the bureau that I head, there are several bureaus. There's Africa, there's Latin America, there's Arab bureau as well. In Asia Pacific, we have 38 countries. up north from Mongolia to down south to the Pacific Islands, with 25 developing countries and 12 LDCs. And we operate on a demand-driven process, so the countries request for assistance from us, and we have a dialogue with the country on how to prioritize that need. So we are all ears after today's activities of which agency, which department would like to engage us for a collaboration. And you can see more of our services and what we can do in our website, that's wipo.int. So feel free to dig into the portal. We have lots of information. Let me start the discussion probably by looking at Philippine IP registration. The green line is us. So among Southeast Asia, we compare with Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, sort of our cluster. In terms of patents, you can see there's definitely room for improvement, as Sasha mentioned earlier. Sorry. For design as well, you can see that we're still in the mid bottom. And for trademark, we are now higher, but there's still more we can do, definitely. But there's reason to be hopeful, a reason to be excited about. We have 3 new laws, as mentioned earlier also by Secretary Del Peña, and I think the latest of which is the Philippine Innovation Act. And I'd like to dwell on these 3 laws and share a bit my observation. We do have innovation support projects in different countries, in Malaysia, in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Sri Lanka. And so we have a sort of a view to see different economies striving towards innovation. And I'd like to share a bit of how we're faring in terms of the law, what the law is telling us, and what we can do. I'd like also to point out here also that it's very nice that our law has the metrics already built in. So there's an oversight and metrics component to the law. So I think it's a very strong law simply because of that. So as Sasha said, we're able to evaluate what worked, what is not working, so we can change and evaluate things. And we're very happy, of course, that GI is specifically mentioned in the law itself. So that gives us great encouragement that we're going to coming back again and again to help the Philippines. So, pardon me with this long list, but these are the things that I feel that the law has, which is very important to build an innovation ecosystem. Let me see. I have to go back to the first slide. Okay, so let me just dwell on it one by one. First is, it's very nice that the law mentioned about traditional knowledge as a source for innovation, because that's normally what countries have forgotten about. They look at high tech and they forget that the mega diversities, the ingredients they have, the genetical resources that they have are actually the source for innovation, for pharmaceuticals, and for fuel, and for other types of technology. And I can see that in the country, there's several of our scientists digging into our resources to innovate. And it's very nice that the law mentioned that, so I think this is one area we should sort of leverage as our strength. What does it mean to do that? I think our agencies in government in charge of traditional knowledge or traditional cultural expression should work with our science technology department, with our trade industry department, with our education department, and so on and so forth. It cannot be working in silos because we are going to work together to make it happen, right? And work together to use these genetic resources or this traditional knowledge to create innovation. Second point is, as Sasha also mentioned, we desperately need more investment in education and in R&D. And I'd like to emphasize at this point that is actually a model called open innovation, where innovation is done not just by one entity and doing R&D in-house, commercializing in-house, but it's sort of doing R&D and commercialization with different entities together. And that is open innovation. It's more powerful, definitely, but it's also more complicated. It's a complex system that we're trying to use to create the whole system, right? So I think that is important and investment is needed. Third thing is capacity development for innovation actors, entities, and service providers. I will dwell a bit more later, but just to tell you, a lot of competencies are not seen because these are what we call soft skills, but they're not really soft, right? But they're the soft skills that make or break a collaboration. And so that capacity development has to be there. We have to retool. We have to retool our actors to be able to collaborate, to be able to do IP, to be able to do commercialization and innovation. This cannot be taken for granted. It has to be learned. And so this learning opportunity is extremely important. Another point also is removing regulatory and other obstacles to innovation undertaking, and I point two things at the start of R&D, which is procurement, and the end of R&D, which is licensing. And we have heard stories again and again, even during my time in IP Philippines, that it takes forever to get something, material to the lab, and it takes forever to negotiate for a licensing deal because there are so many don'ts and taboos that you can't simply allow that to happen. And because of that, you tar people, you tar entities, you tar innovators from making a deal at the end of the day. So I think that's really one area that should be looked into. And the law mentions that, so that's why the law is very, very powerful. Next is the industry-academic collaboration. This is in the heart of innovation and open innovation at that. There's no point if the industry and the academia cannot collaborate or collaborate only on a very superficial level. So this is one thing we have to look into. And the law also specifically wants it done. A greater, more effective industry-academic collaboration. And the law mentions about alliances, the law mentions about networks. And I think that's very important. I said network communities, I think it's an important thing. And the first step towards collaboration and towards having that allegiance is really information. Right now, many of our scientists probably are rolling simply because of that. So as such, we're able to evaluate what worked, what is not working, so we can change and we don't know where the technology provider takes. And we're very happy with what providers are. And of course, the GI is specifically mentioned. I'll show you a website created by the law itself. So if one needs something, one needs only to go to the portal. You will find who, where, what. Gives us great encouragement that we're going to come back again and again to help the Philippines. Joint interactive web portal. So the law, you can see, is very comprehensive. It's like everything. So, pardon me with this long list, but these are the things that I and to fill the gap. So it's really an amazing law. And I feel that the law has, which is very important to build innovation. Tangible with the National Innovation Council. Ecosystem. I was asked this question. I have to go back to the first slide. Okay, so let me just dwell on it one by one. Director, what is the most difficult thing or biggest challenge for any country in terms of building? First is, it's very nice that the law mentioned about traditional knowledge as a source for innovation because there's no everywhere, but including WIPO. So it's, I guess, human nature, right? What countries have forgotten about, they look at high tech and they forget that the mega diversities, the ingredients they have, where we have 12 people working as one team to create a gadget. The genetic resources that they have are actually the source for innovation, for pharmaceuticals and for fuel and for other types of technology. Problems arise. So people start not. And I can see that in the country, there are several of our scientists digging into our resources to innovate. And it's very nice that the law mentioned made, the changes are done. And that will be the problem. So I guess that, so I think this is one area we should sort of leverage as our strength. What does it mean to do that? I think our agents, and I think that's important, and I think the agencies in government in charge of traditional knowledge or traditional cultural expression should work with our science technology department, with our trade industry. It's very nice to see that the National Innovation Council is going to be headed by the department, with the education department, and so on and so forth. It cannot be working in silos because we are going to work together to make it happen. Lower than undersecretary, I think, right? Was mentioned in the law itself. So it's right, and work together to use these genetic resources or this traditional knowledge to create innovation. Second point is in science, art, and technology. This is very powerful as well. As Sashi also mentioned, we desperately need more investment in education and in R&D. And I'd like to emphasize more people right away. So we're very happy that the law also. At this point, that is actually a model called open innovation, where innovation is done not just by one entity and doing R&D. Again, the law sees that there's a need to track results in-house, commercialize in-house, but it's sort of doing R&D and commercialization with different entities together. And that is open. Innovation is more powerful definitely, but it's also more complicated. It's a complex system that we're trying to use. Is given for R&D. I think that's very powerful. To create the whole system, right? So I think that is important and investment is needed. Third thing is capacity development for innovation. It's not just on a national, but it's also on provincial, it's also on municipal and local actors, entities, and service providers. I will dwell a bit more later, but just to tell you, a lot of is China. We witnessed how China created the competencies are not seen because they're what we call, but they knew one day they had to get out of that model. And so soft skills, but they're not really soft, right? But they're the soft skills that make or break a collaboration. Patents filed, number of licensing agreements made, and the revenue. And so that capacity development has to be there. We have to retool. We have to retool our actors to be able to collaborate, to be able to do IP. So I guess it is something we can really do when the LGUs are part of it. To be able to do commercialization and innovation. This cannot be taken for granted. It has to be learned. Chain of marketplaces. Yeah, the world is flat, and so there's no point if you invent something. And so this learning opportunity is extremely important. Another point also is removing regulatory times where a product is more successful outside before coming in, and other obstacles to innovation undertaking. And I point to things at the start of R&D, which is procurement, review of a global market, a global value chain, and also at the end of R&D, which is licensing. And we have heard stories, and not even mentioned intellectual property. Our law does, and it's very powerful. In fact, and again, even during my time in the IP Philippines, that it takes forever to get something. Has prescribed. So we're hoping that with this provision, it will incentivize material to the lab, and it takes forever to negotiate for a licensing deal because there's so much. And it takes forever to negotiate for a licensing deal because there's so don'ts and taboos and taboos. You can't allow that to happen. And because of that, you tar people. It's all in tired entities, you tired people, you tired entities, you tired innovators from making anything. But to tell you a bit, I think that's really one area that the World Intellectual Property Day. I think that's really one area that should be improved. And the law mentions, and now should be improved. And the law mentions that, so that's why the law is very powerful. Next is the industry-academic collaboration. Just by having a day where this is the industry-academic collaboration. This is in the heart of innovation and open innovation at that. Innovation. Another year we celebrated improving lives through technologies and things like that. So through the year, there's no point if the industry and the academy cannot collaborate. Press releases globally on a single day or collaborate only on the very superficial level. So this is one thing we have to look into, and the law to also likewise do the same. So it's powerful. Also, specifically, once it's done, a greater, more effective industry-academic collaboration, capacity development. Both the Innovation Startup Act and the Philippine Innovation. And the law mentions about alliances. The law mentions about networks, and I think that's very important. I said network communities. I think it's an important thing. And the first step towards that there should be IP knowledge and IP skills. Collaboration and towards having that allegiance is really information. Right now, any innovation activity, any innovation transaction, and many of our scientists probably simply because of that. So as such, we're able to evaluate what will always be that, because a lot of transactions and what worked, what is not working, so we can change it. We don't know where the technology provides things, and we're very happy with providers. It's important that when we do that. And of course, the GI is specifically mentioned. A website created by a mistaken notion that you send someone to a 3-day seminar and the law itself. So if one needs something, one needs only to go to the portal, you will find books. But unfortunately, IP skills takes more than that to learn. Who's, who, where, what gives us great encouragement that we're going to have you back again and again. Learn about it and keep it. You have to have someone learn about it and use it. Because join interactive web portal. So the law, you can see, is very comprehensive. It's important for IP skills and knowledge. And that's something I'd like to share with you. It's like, so, pardon me with this long list, but these are the things. This is a little short film on why I to fill the gap. So it's really amazing. And feel
that the law has, which is very important to build innovation. National Innovation Council. Ecosystem. I have to go back to the first slide. Okay, so let me just dwell on Director, what is the most difficult thing or biggest challenge for any country in terms of building? First is, it's very nice that the law mentioned about traditional knowledge as a source for innovation, because there's no everywhere, including Whitehall. So it's, I guess, human nature, right? What countries have forgotten about the high tech, and they forget that the mega diversities, the ingredients they have, where we have called people working as one team to create a gut. The genetic resources that they have are actually the source for innovation, for pharmaceuticals and for fuel and for other types. Problems to arise. So people start not. And I can see that in the country, there's several of our scientists digging into our resources